What's going on, guys? How you guys doing? Today we're gonna do something a little bit different on my channel. As you guys know, myself and Kenny here, KSIX, we're in DSG.
DSG.
We're about to go to a long road trip here from San Diego to Seattle and back again over 9 days. So basically what we're going to talk about today is what we've done to prep for this. All this, I mean, there's so many little things that I don't think people think of when you're doing. I forget. I'm like, oh man, that's a good idea. This is a good idea. So
yeah, if you've never gone on a long trip like this, sometimes you don't know about the stuff that you need or the stuff that you should have brought until after you're already into the trip. So I think we're just going to go over a few of these things that you might not have thought of. Prior
and this guy's the expert. He's the one that's done the long road trips before. So I'm a noob at this. I've taken a lot of his advice and then probably going a little overboard with it, but you know,
just to clarify, I am definitely not an expert, but I have taken enough of these trips where I think I've learned from my own mistakes. So hopefully you guys out there will pick up some tips and
definitely take advantage of it. So anyway, stay tuned and hope you guys enjoy the video. Alright, so thanks for sticking around. This is going to be a good one. I'm kind of looking forward to making this video.
I think too.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a fun one. I haven't seen too many videos on like prepping for a road trip on a motorcycle. At least any recent ones. There's some older ones and things like that, but especially on the sports bikes. I mean,
yeah, I think if you find anything out there on YouTube, it's probably more like cruiser related.
Yeah.
Guys on
some beefy cross country bike, or a big ass adventure
across
bike.
The desert.
Yeah. I haven't seen many on sports bikes. So and that's exactly what this is. I mean, I'm going on the 2014 Daytona 675. He's got his R1 right here, and then our boy DSG is going on a 636. So we're talking about some some painful backaches here.
Yeah, these bikes are definitely not meant for touring.
Yeah, definitely. So. So before we get into this, I just want to mention, a lot of this we're going to record, pretty much the whole trip. It's going to be recorded, which is going to be great. Hopefully we get some good footage for you guys. But if you want to follow along while we do the trip, the best way is going to be Instagram. We're going to be posting pictures, probably doing videos. I'll probably do live streams on Instagram too. So
at least a few times a day.
Yeah, at least a few times. I am going to spam you guys on Instagram. That's what's gonna happen here. So
yeah, you might want to turn your notifications off while you're at work.
Hey, don't tell
me.
Yeah, don't tell me. Well,
turn them on.
Yeah, keep them on.
While you're in that board meeting, hold on, guys, I gotta. Yeah.
So I'll put my Instagram below. I'll put Kenny's Instagram below. It's
_ KSIX.
Yeah, on Instagram.
KSIX.
And our boy DSG, go ahead and give him a follow. I mean, sure, we're gonna have all kinds of different angles and pictures and things like that. It's just going to be a lot of fun, but that is going to be the best way for you guys if you guys want to to track our trip live while we're doing it. That's the way it's going to do it. We're definitely going to edit videos and make some awesome videos out of this, but it's going to be kind of a delayed, because I've just not know. I'm no Casey Neistat. I can't do daily editing. So also
I suck at it too.
Before I get too big into this, I do want to give a big shout out to South Bay Motorsports. They're sponsoring my trip, my portion of this trip for this ride. If you guys are in San Diego and you guys need work done, you need to get gear, you need to buy a bike, go ahead and go over there. Tell them I sent you. They'll take care of you. They're definitely been hooking me up and taking care of me and helping with this trip. So big shout out to them, and thank you guys. So with that, I guess we'll get into it and talk about the trip real quick. What we're actually doing, I guess.
Yeah. So I guess I'll start. I usually do one of these trips at least once a year. It's usually around the fall, but come January, I was like, hey, maybe I should take a trip somewhere, because last year I moved to California and I didn't get a chance to do a long road trip. So I was like, let's ride to Canada. That'd be awesome. And I put it out. I put the word out thinking that everybody was going to be like, oh, go fuck yourself. We're not riding to Canada. But surprisingly, GhostNinja here and DSG were like, yeah, let's go. We've been planning
I've never done anything like this.
About
so,
January.
Yeah. I've never done anything like this. And as soon as he said it, I was like, oh, that sounds amazing. That sounds like a freaking great idea. And so
Yeah, normally I've just done these trips by myself. A couple years ago, my dad and a bunch of his friends, we all took a trip around the southeast, about 9 or 10 days, and I think it ended up being, my portion was around 4,000 miles, and there was a little bit shorter just because they were closer to where we started from. But yeah, I've always just done these by myself, and then you meet people along the way, and that's, I think, one of the benefits of being a motorcyclist, the community aspect of it. But anyways,
I didn't even think, like, I'm sure we're gonna meet, like,
oh yeah, we'll
tons
meet
of
people along
yeah,
the way.
I didn't even think about that. That's gonna be really cool.
Yeah, but it's nice this time to actually have people that you know that want to take this type of trip with you. So
especially with Senas.
Yes.
So we all have this S20, so we'll be able to communicate the whole way. And I don't know if any of you guys use Sena S20s. Those batteries are like legit. Those things will last the whole day.
GoPros this time. In the past, I know they've been out for a while, but I didn't buy one until maybe last year. So it'll be better this time to actually document like the stuff you see and how the trip goes via GoPro.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so we haven't, well, at least on my end, I haven't really planned the trip. I have a general idea of the routes we're gonna do. Kenny's kind of taken the hand, and I've heard a lot of people like oh yeah, we're going up the 5 and the 101, that kind of route, and everyone's like, no, you gotta go here. No, you gotta go here. No, before here, you gotta go here. You must see this. I'm just like, oh man, there's so much info out there.
I think I don't know anybody personally that's made the trip from Mexico to all the way to the Canadian border, but everybody that we've talked to has some general idea of places that we should stop along the way and things that we should see. So I kind of have a general idea of where we're going. We're pretty much going to ride the coast from the LA area all the way as far north as we can.
My biggest thing is I want to see like the big redwood trees. Yes. And like I really, really want to see that. I've always wanted to see that. So I'm super, super stoked about this trip. We've been planning it for what, 2 months, 3 months?
Yeah, I mean the idea came up in January, but I don't think we started really like doing any hardcore planning until about 2 months ago.
Yeah, and within the last month and a half, 2 months is when I've been like starting to buy everything, get everything ready for this trip. So, yeah, I mean, if you guys want to see what we're talking about, we'll go ahead and get into it and start showing some of the things that we've done or purchased for this trip. Mm-hmm. Also, you know, for me, some of the stuff I got to give shout outs to a couple companies that kind of hooked it up with a few things. So, but I guess for the first thing is really maintenance, like bike maintenance.
Oh yeah, maintenance is a big thing. When you decide to take a trip like this, I think the last thing that anybody wants is to be stranded on the side of the road, or even if you just, you know, you're a motorcyclist in general and you ride your bike daily. Maintenance is key. You don't want your bike to malfunction in the middle of a ride, ruin your day of fun. You might get hurt. You might hurt somebody else.
Yeah. It's
just all around bad deal. So don't skip on maintenance. You know, follow whatever your manual says. Either you do it yourself or take it to a shop that you trust.
Yeah. So what I did is I took it to South Bay Motorsports, of course. I bought the Michelin Road Pilot 4s for the trip. So I got good touring tires, and because we're going to be and I went with this. And I'll just mention this, I went with these tires specifically because we're going to Seattle, and I know we're getting towards the warmer summer times, but
I heard it might rain.
I expect that there might be a potential of us hitting rain. And so I wanted really good rain tires because unless it's pouring down like ridiculous, we're just probably gonna, if we're riding, we're probably just gonna cut right through it, you know. We got, and we'll get into like rain gear and stuff, some of that other stuff that we've done. But
yeah, if you've never ridden in like heavy rain, it can be a challenge, but the Pilot Road 4s, I've had them on previous bikes. They are amazing tire for touring, for riding in the rain. You'll get a ton of miles out of these things. So I mean, I had the Q4s on there, so those wouldn't make this trip. And then I also got a tune-up on the bike, obviously oil change, air filter, all that stuff. And then I had my brake pads replaced because they were done, and brakes bled, and I think that's it in terms of maintenance. Obviously the chain, that you want to make sure chain and your sprocket's good. Mine's good to go. So just making sure that you get all your maintenance done, at least in my opinion, is as close to possible to your trip. You know, you don't want to do your maintenance 3 months ago and you ride every day and you're like, oh, now you're going to put on 4,000 miles. So I did mine last week or the week before, so within 2 weeks, 3 weeks of our trip. So Yeah, I had mine done about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago as well. And yeah, my bike's fairly new. So, and most of the stuff that I've had replaced, like my brakes and brake pads, I had replaced in January when I did a bunch of upgrades. So all I needed this time was just an oil change and just a general look over to make sure things were going to be straight. But if you're going to take any type of trip like this, just make sure that you feel or are comfortable enough that your bike is 100% sound to make it safely.
Yeah, you want to be comfortable. So that's going to be good. And I think our bikes are ready for this thing, man. They're running good. Got good tires. They sound great. And I mean, I think the biggest challenge here is really going to be our body.
Yeah. I guess it will. All right. So if again, if you've never taken a long trip like this, and I think any motorcyclist can attest to the fact that if you go for more than a few hours, your body takes kind of a toll. And even if you're the most badass biker out there, you ride for 8 to 10 hours in one day straight. You're talking 400, 500, 600 miles at a time
in the same general position.
You're going to be hurting. So I think between my experience and GhostNinja's experience, it will be more than fine to get there and be able to kick it off the next day and be straight. But
I think one of the things is
it's going to be hard.
Yeah. I think one of the things that one of the things, not only being able to see all the places we're going to see and the new places and the views and all that, one of the things I'm looking forward to is a challenge. I feel like it is going to be a mental challenge, being able to ride 5 to 8 hours a day, putting in that many miles on a super sports, and so you're going to wake up. I guarantee you after Friday, on Saturday, we're going to wake up and we're probably going to be hurting a bit, but we prepared for this. This is part of the preparation.
Yes,
so
this is part of the preparation.
That kind of leads into this next segment of the video. We're going to go ahead and start showing some of the things that we've done, purchased to prepare for this trip. And Kenny can go into what he's purchased. I'll go into what I purchased. And we'll show you guys what we're working with. And then once we're done with that, we'll take a look at the bikes and show you the actual luggage and what we're taking for each of us and why we picked what we picked for luggage. And go from there. So, sound good to you?
Yeah, you want to go first?
Sure. All right, so not only, the funny thing, here's the funny thing is it's a little bit different for like someone like me and Kenny who are trying to document this versus someone that's going on the road trip. I'm using basically GoPro, got the Cube, the Polar Cube, and I know you got the drone and stuff like that, but one of the things is making sure you have enough batteries. So what I have is I have my little GoPro case here. It's a little sturdy little case where I keep the Cube. I can keep all spare parts for the GoPro, because one of the things that sucks is you're on the ride and something happens and you need a new mount or you need a new something for your GoPro and you don't have it, it really sucks. So I have all that here, as well as I have 6 extra GoPro batteries for the entire trip. So I should be good in terms of being able to record everything. It's a matter of just making sure to remember to check the camera, which is going to be something. I think one of the things is I have to remember check the camera every once in a while. So but this is one of the first things I got ready for this trip. And well, I'll show you the next thing, because one of the things also is when we're talking about batteries and you got cameras and you got Senas and you got cell phones, is the hotel rooms have limited space in terms of what you're gonna be able to plug all this. And this is just mine, and now Kenny has his and DSG is gonna have his. So on that note, let's go ahead and skip to the next scene. You're gonna see what I got. All right, so for this trip, what I got from my end is this little Kalip. I don't even know how it's pronounced. It's a power strip. It's a portable power strip for the hotel room. And the cool thing I like about this, and we'll open it up here for you guys so you guys can see it, is that it has, I haven't even opened it, but it's got 3 USB ports and 2 charging ports. So out of one plug, I should be able to cover at least 4 batteries being charged from my GoPro, a Sena, a cell phone, and I'm sure I have something else that I'm gonna need to plug in here. But yeah, so with this, we're not gonna be fighting over a power outlet, because we can each get one of this and I'm good. I don't have to worry about anything else. And I think this is key. And one of the things that I found recently is that unfortunately not enough hotel rooms put USB ports in there.
No. Every once in a while you find one that's got a couple like next to the bed, but
and that's awesome. I love it when I find that. But for the most part, like I haven't seen many hotel rooms that have this stuff. So
and when you're traveling, if you notice, like your Sena can be charged by USB. GoPro equipment, all USB.
Yep.
So yeah, having be able to charge by USB is kind of vital, and especially since there's gonna be a few of us sleeping in the same hotel room at night, we don't want to be waking up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning trying to remember that we need to switch stuff.
Because there's nothing worse than if we're gonna wake up for the next day and I realize that my GoPro's not charged, or my Sena's not charged, or something like that. That's gonna. I mean, I don't want to say it's going to kill the whole ride, because I mean the point is really to go on the ride, but I want to document, I want to share with you guys. This is something that's going to help me make sure that I do that.
So I bought something similar. It doesn't have the actual socket portion of it, but it's all USB. I think I can charge like 5 or 6 things with mine, and I know DSG has something very similar, so we should be able to plug everything in that we require.
If I would have, I don't know why I didn't think of that. Because everything is USB, but for whatever reason I bought this one. It was just a good deal, and it was portable, but I didn't think about finding one that was just purely USBs, because that's pretty legit.
And while you're on your ride, you know, you don't always have access to, you know, a wall socket or something where you can actually plug one of those pieces of equipment in. So these battery packs are amazing. I have one that I purchased from RAVPower, RAVPOWER. I've actually got 3 of these, and they are amazing. The new line that they came out with probably last year, the year before, they charge in like 4 or 5 hours, and I can literally charge everything that I need multiple times all day. So these should provide me with more than enough power to keep my GoPros and my Sena and cell phone and everything else I need to charge during the day going, and then at night only a few hours and one little, you know, USB to plug them in.
Yeah, I have the I think it's called the Acon or Acron. I don't freaking know. Acon and Young Jeezy.
Young Jeezy.
Which is a bigger one like that, which is the same, you know, it takes, I mean, it lasts forever. Mine doesn't charge as quick. It usually takes overnight to charge, so, but that's not a big deal if it lasts all day. And then I happen to get one of these smaller ones that's used for my cell phone. It's not very strong, but it's enough to get the cell phone, you know, the job done. So these are definitely, you know, these are going to be useful. The one thing that I wish I would have got, it would have been the solar panel ones. They make some like this with a little solar panel, and you can like put it out and charge it while you're riding and stuff like that. So it's always charged. But so the next thing that I got, one of the things that we're gonna have to deal with all the film and the GoPros and stuff, is storage. There's gonna be so much footage from this trip, from every camera, even from my cell phone, probably the drone. The drone. He bought the, and he'll go into that, but yeah, the drone. You got to be able to put it somewhere. Once I did take a vacation once, and I did daily videos, and I tried to use Dropbox, but unfortunately the Wi-Fi in hotels is pretty crappy, and so you can't upload 60 gigs, 70 gigs overnight to a Dropbox. So what I got is I picked up this, what is it, Seagate? I think it's Seagate.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much the same one I've got.
Yeah, it's a Seagate. It's actually a 4 terabyte Seagate hard drive, and I got it for like, I think it was like $100, $120, something like that. But basically, this is going to be able to allow us to film everything for the entire trip and dump it onto something like this. So this one's mine, my own 4 terabyte. I think Kenny has his own, and I'd imagine DSG has his own. But this is going to be vital for making sure that you guys get to enjoy the trip with us and ride with us. And then as part of this,
I purchased this very tiny little Lenovo laptop. It's not something I would normally use on a daily basis, but for this purpose, you know, $150 for a laptop that I can just use to dump you know, materials onto a hard drive, it's perfect. And then I can repurpose it later on. But yeah, it's tiny enough to you know, to store in a backpack. It's super light. If it breaks, whatever, but it'll get the job done. Yeah,
and it's gonna be perfect because we're gonna be able to use this to dump all our footage from the GoPros and all the memory cards onto these things, and so we never run out of space. So I know I have a couple of 64 gig cards, a bunch of 32 gig cards. So I'd imagine we're just gonna eat through data. It's just gonna be ridiculous.
Yeah, at least I figure at least once a day we're gonna have to dump all of our cards. Because I know I think I've got 5 or 6 64s, and I know you've got a bunch. Yeah. DSG is going to have a bunch too.
So this is perfect. this is going to be great for the trip. So, yeah, these things are going to be great.
This is something new, a new toy that I purchased a couple weeks ago. I bought myself a DJI Mavic, or DJI Mavic. If you guys haven't seen it, this thing is super tiny.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous.
I can't even describe like how small this guy is, but the footage that I plan on getting with this should be pretty amazing.
Yeah, you guys are going to enjoy that. That thing's a beast, and he's got 4 batteries for it.
Yeah, 4 batteries.
You should be good to go for getting some nice drone shots of wherever we're at. And I mean, so I can tell you guys, you should expect some pretty high quality content coming out for the entire trip. It'll probably be pretty long videos, to be honest. I really don't want to cut the videos short, and I wanted to have you guys get a feel of what we're seeing and when we're out there. So that thing is going to be freaking awesome, and he's been flying it like every day practicing.
Yeah. I like I said, I bought it about 2 weeks ago, and I've been flying it every day for at least until I run through all my batteries. So yeah. I'm getting better. We should get some awesome stuff with it. Hopefully I don't crash it into the ocean.
So on to what we were kind of talking about earlier about our bodies and stuff like that. Some of the things that we're bringing with us in for those purposes. Some of these, I got a whole box of these thermal care things. Basically, you can use them for your back, for your hip, wherever you're kind of sore, and they warm up and basically, help try to ease any soreness if there is any. I don't know if I'm going to need them, but the potential is there. They're gonna be there. Yeah, and then you're gonna have your different.
Yeah, I got some random stuff here. So, like I said, over my years of doing this kind of thing, I've learned that these are things that I should bring. So, the first one is allergy medicine. If you're traveling to an area you've never been before, especially during like a season, just a random season, your allergies could kick up, and I know mine are pretty bad here in SoCal right now. So
I have 100% agree with him on that one. I actually have like a prescription allergy medicine, some pills. I don't even remember which ones they are, but I actually stopped using them like a month ago to make sure that I had them for this trip. So I started taking them last week to get that build up. But
tolerance.
Yeah, that's one of the things I was worried about, is having allergy.
So allergy medication is one of them. I bring a small thing of capsaicin just for hand cramps. You just rub it on and it's good. I like the idea of the patches, and I've got a few that I'll be packing as well. But just for random during the day, if I need some relief or something, I got some of these. I'm also bringing a small thing of cortisone, good for random bug bites. If you start getting a random itch somewhere, this stuff is magic.
Yeah, and on the sense of this, I actually got some they're like cramp pills for legs when you go to sleep. So I figured after riding all day and maybe at night you might get some cramps or something with a beer, a little beer at the end of the night. So I got some of that too, and then obviously a bottle of Advil is going to be brought with us. Eye drops, just general things like that. For any little aches and pains that you don't have to, if you can avoid it or you can have something to deal with it. I think that's the best way to do it.
So earplugs. Even though I love the way my bike sounds, and other people I'm sure do too, after you hear it for about 7 or 8 hours at a time, it can be draining. Yeah. So earplugs are great for at least part of the relief. And then my last major item is baby gold bond powder. This stuff is magic. You sprinkle a little bit on, not too much, because you will burn your private areas. I know from experience.
No bueno.
it's not good, but this stuff is amazing, just for random comfort throughout the day.
Yeah.
Just keep that.
On the note with the earplugs, I definitely have earplugs, a bag that I'm gonna take with me, similar to those. But one of the things I'm gonna be doing is something a little different about these little speakers right here. One of the problems I have is I ride with the Sena all the time, right? And I record with the Sena for you guys. But I can't listen to music and ride with the Sena at the same time. So I bought these special earphones that look like earplugs, and they go into your ear and they do the whole noise cancellation. But there's a little speaker in there, so you can plug this to your phone, and I can have the GPS if I need, or music on kind of a low volume, and then still be able to hear these guys on the comms, which is going to be, I think, awesome. This is one of the things that I'm kind of excited about using, because if you're going on long rides here's one of the things is you're going to go 8 hours with 3 people. You're probably eventually gonna get tired of hearing and talking to these guys, right?
Yeah, nobody talks constantly for 8 hours.
Yeah. So there's gonna be, I imagine, long periods of quietness and
Yeah.
silence, and and so music for me is like I enjoy listening to music when I ride when it's quiet. So these are gonna be really key for me to keep me kind of jamming out while we're pushing through wherever we're pushing through. So
yeah, I ride with a pair of Q3s. I don't really like the stock speakers with the Sena, so I'm not what was it, Q3s? The Bose, the little Bose earphones, and those work for me. I've tried other brands before, and they just kind of hurt, but those are good for me. And they do like noise reduction, but not actual cancellation, so I can still hear stuff around me. But those are good, and these will be for when I just need absolute like quiet. So
going into the next thing, we're going to talk about a little bit of gear here. So here's my normal pair of gloves that I'm going to be riding with for pretty much, I hope, most of the trip. It's just going to be these normal gloves here. But I do have some Icon wet waterproof gloves that, or for mornings when it's really cold, that I'm going to be using these things. Huh?
I like that.
Oh, it sucks, though. It sucks.
Really?
Yeah, it sucks. But he's talking about these have like a little windshield wiper, when it's raining. Yeah. But they don't work very well. But they keep my hands warm. They're waterproof, so if we do hit any rain or anything like that, I'm definitely going to switch up to these. But in addition to these, if you don't have liners, let me show you. These. It's what I call my handwear. These things are freaking amazing. So these things, they're just like, I don't know, they're not silk. I don't know what they're. They're like they're some kind of thermal fucking handwear is what I call them. But basically, if it's a little cold out, but it's not cold enough for these, throw these on, put the gloves on, and you're golden. Or if it's really cold, you put them under these, and oh man, these things make such a difference when you're riding. So this is kind of where I'm going with my gloves. But we also have
riding pants.
Riding pants. We both had the same pair made by Viking. Big shout out to those guys. They hooked us up with riding pants, and the only problem, they're super heavy duty. They're really thick. So if it's not like really cold, you overheat a bit. Yeah.
I would say that for the most part they're comfortable, but they are super heavy duty. Yeah. So on a day like today where it's, I think it's almost like 85, 90 here right now. Like riding around the city would be
unbearable.
Yeah.
So we're going to take those with us just because, like we said earlier, we're probably going to hit some rain. I mean, I'm hoping we don't, but we're probably going to hit some rain when we get up to Seattle, at least maybe once. I'm really hoping we don't, but we'll have them with us just in case. I know he also has the Icon Team Merc jacket. I have the same jacket. Both of those jackets are pretty, they're water resistant, I think they're what they're considered, but I've gone through some really bad rain and I stay dry. So between the jacket, the gloves, the riding pants, I think the only thing that's going to get wet is my socks because I don't have riding boots that are waterproof. So.
Oh, well, I do. I'm rocking an old pair of Icon Chukas I bought in maybe like 2010 or 2011. Even though they're old as shit, I absolutely love them. And if I could buy a new pair, I totally would. But I will wear these things until they are disintegrated. But they're comfortable. I can walk around in them all day. My feet stay warm when they need to stay warm. They stay cool when they need to stay cool. And I'm bringing enough socks that I can wear at least 1 or 2 pair a day and throw them away.
Exactly. So, yeah, that's awesome. All right. So one of the next things is there's always little odds and ends that happen. You could prepare your bike the best you can, but something always happens. Even on little trips like LA. I remember on my Ninja 650, I was going to LA for, I don't know, some convention or something. I'll meet up with the guys up there. And on the way up, I hit a pothole. It was dark. I hit a pothole, and the rear fender, or the rear plastics on my bike, like one of them popped out. It broke the plastic. And so fortunately it has zip ties, or it's golden. But and part of that, having like tools, just simple tools. I mean, you don't really need much. He's got his tools. I just got a simple little multi-tool, something really simple. It doesn't need to be much, but I think these are, this is, definitely.
See, the benefit of riding with more than, more people than yourself is that you can bring a lot more stuff.
Yeah.
So generally, when I would travel by myself, I'd bring a multi-tool, zip ties. Zip ties are a must because if something comes loose, these guys will usually save your hide for a while. Well, anyways, yeah, you can bring more stuff than you would normally bring.
Yeah.
So must multi-tool, zip ties. I recommend a tire plug kit. A lot of people think that they can ride with plugs forever, and they do last a long time, but I feel more comfortable using it as a temporary, get me to point A to point B to get a more permanent solution fixed.
It'll definitely get you out of a jam when you're stuck on the side of a road. So.
Yep. I also recommend a 10 millimeter wrench or adjustable. Most bikes are around a 10 millimeter, but if you bring an adjustable, you're good for just about anything. And then a random assortment of Allen keys. Usually.
Oh yes.
Yeah, usually
Tight
one or two.
And like your seat or some random thing.
Yeah, usually one or two sizes will get you through whatever you need.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are the things that I would bring. And then as an extra, if you wanted to, some torque seal, just in case you're afraid, like, hey, maybe my axle nut might be loosening up and you're not sure. You put a little bit of this on there. Once it dries, you ride around for a while. If it is moving, this stuff will indicate, because you'll see it crack and you'll know that something isn't legit.
Yeah,
and then if you need something to as a permanent hold, like your license plate, nut is coming loose, some thread lock will keep it in place almost forever.
Yeah, so just some cool things to bring. Like you said, when you have multiple people going, you don't all have to carry the same thing, so you can get a good variety of tools for any situation that you get stuck in.
Yep.
Which is awesome. All right, so for the next thing, keep in mind we're not in a car, so you're very limited on space and what you can take with you in terms of comfort and clothes and basically, I mean, you've seen everything we're taking here. We're already taking a lot of shit. Yeah, a lot of stuff. So we haven't even started talking about clothes. So basically, for me, I'm just gonna take some, probably one pair of jeans, maybe 2 pair of jeans, the riding pants. Some shirts to change for the day, throughout the day, undershirts. I'm really going to try to keep it as minimal as possible, just to make sure I have a change for every day in terms of socks.
I love new socks.
New socks. I'm even debating where I'm going to be tossing them out the next day, because free up some space or whatever, because it's going to be a lot of stuff, and get a little bit more comfortable. And instead of carrying dirty clothes with you over 9 days, I don't know, that might be something.
I will definitely be throwing clothes away, or
or buying new clothes,
or buying them on the way. So yeah, this is something I learned over the course of my first few trips. You can't take everything you need with you, especially if you're going for an extended period of time. So what I do is buy brand new socks and a brand new pack of t-shirt and some boxers. And every day, you've got a clean pair to last you through the day, and at the end of the day, you can toss them, or donate them to charity, do whatever you want with them.
Donate your dirty skivvies.
Yeah, but you don't have to lug around all kinds of dirty stuff. And then if you're going somewhere where you plan on staying wherever you're at for a few days, I've learned to just mail clothes to wherever I'm going. So awesome. Once I went to a wedding, I rode from Tampa to Southwest Kansas. I mailed a box of clothes that I needed, so I'd have stuff when I got there.
That's a great idea. We do know where we're staying in Seattle. I'm not sharing it here, but we do know where we're going to be staying in Seattle, so that's something that we could definitely do.
Yeah, so if I wanted to, wear some fly shit while I was out there, I could just mail it there at the hotel, and I'd be straight. And then at the end of the week, or however long we stay, you mail it home and you're done.
Yep. And then the other thing is you want to make sure that you have some money for the trip, cash.
Yes.
Credit's always good. And my plan is basically for gas and food, and just little things, snacks. I'll probably be using my credit card, but I'm gonna have cash on hand for any little thing that, that you need. It's just you just need to carry cash.
Yeah. Another lesson that I learned the hard way. Credit is good just because you have a record of where you are. So if for some reason you disappear and somebody's looking for you, they can look, where's the last place you scanned your card, you bought gas in this area. They know where the last place you kind of were. But there are those situations where you are in the middle of nowhere, Texas, and the gas station doesn't take credit card, and now you have no money. Or you can do like I did and lose your wallet like halfway between point A and point B and have zero money. So yeah, that was a headache. But luckily I worked it out. My parents were able to Western Union me some money, and the kindness of strangers were able to give me a couple dollars to get some gas for my bike. Yeah. But keep an extra Hondo, you know, like just randomly stashed somewhere away from your normal, so you have some extra cash.
So that's a very key point, I think, and so it will definitely have you know, spare cash in cases of emergency type situations. So but other than that, I think for the most part, I think that's in terms of what we're taking with us. That's pretty much it. I think it's a good solid foundation, and like you said, if there's anything extra we wanted to take, we could always mail it to the hotel, or if you buy anything wherever you're at, instead of bringing it back with you, you could ship it home, that kind of thing. So super excited about this trip. I think we've done pretty good, and we, in terms, you know, between all of us, we've got everything covered that I think might come up. AAA, if you have AAA, it's also good. So I recently got AAA, and I got 100 or 200 miles towing. So if something happens and I need to get the bike towed, I don't have to come out of pocket for that. I got it covered through them. So that's pretty cool. And most insurance companies, most insurance companies will offer you to pay extra, what, $5, $10 a month for you to get that. So.
Yeah, and just as a general, that's awesome to have, because you never know when you're going to need it.
So last thing we're going to do is talk about the luggage and everything that we have set up for the bikes. I think it's the first time that both Kenny and myself actually literally put all the luggage on. It's strapped down. It's exactly how it's going to be for the trip. So I haven't ridden with it all yet, neither has Kenny, I don't think. So that's something we'll probably do. I'm going to ride home from here with all of it set up and to get a good feel for it. And I know Kenny's going to take it for a little spin. So let's go ahead and get into it. So this is Kenny's R1. He's got the Cortec saddle bags and luggage. I don't know if you want to kind of mention anything.
It is
what it is. It is what it is. Yeah. It does the job, man, and they're pretty good. Very good detail. They're kind of like the soft but harder bags, I guess what they're called. I like Cortec. I think Cortec always makes
yeah, I've used their tank bags before, but I was really happy with the design of this, because obviously the R1's not made for touring, but this particular bag is kind of contoured to the shape a little bit, so it's not. I feel like it fits better.
It looks good. I mean, and it fits well, and it's definitely going to carry, you know, everything I think that he's going to need for the trip.
Oh, yeah, it's got plenty of room inside and up top. I'm even contemplating whether I need my backpack right now, and I take that thing everywhere.
Yeah, so if you guys take a look, I mean, it looks really good on the bike. It fits perfectly. Plenty of room still for a seat, and to be honest, you get a little backrest when you're riding too. So I don't think it looks bad on it. That's for sure.
No, I'm really surprised at how well it fits once it's all strapped down. And I mean, I've sat on it with these. Like the saddlebags attached, and I was happy that, you know, I'm a big dude, and I was happy that this doesn't pinch my hips. So.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
That'll be key after a long ride.
So the R1 is prepared. Now take a look at my bike, and same thing. I got the Vikings saddlebags and Viking tail bag. I got hooked up with it. Viking, again, big shout out to these guys, Viking Cycle. Good product. It's actually really well built. It fits well, and it sits perfectly on the bike. Mine is a bit higher, I think, in the back right here, but I've ridden with a tail bag, and it actually feels really good. So
you've got a lot more room in that bag than I think.
Yeah, my bags I think are a little bit bigger. They have a little bit more room, but I mean, it's either way. I think both are plenty for what we're doing. I think we're going to be good to go with what we got. And I think it's more than enough and sufficient. So sports bikes can definitely get saddlebags and tail bags. So if you're going on a trip, definitely look into it. For me, I just don't want to ride with a backpack for hours and hours. It starts digging into your neck. You know, the straps start digging in, and you know, then it's just uncomfortable. So the only different thing that I might do, I still may bring a tank bag. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll see how it goes. So hopefully, I mean, that's a good review of the bags. I'm not trying to go into detail, really. I know I've done videos on them before already, so that's pretty much it. All right, guys. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it's kind of long, but I think it's worth it. It's kind of cool to kind of throw things back and forth here about the trip, and talk to you guys about what we're planning, and if you guys are planning on going on a long trip. I know, was it Victory? I can't remember your Victory Bikes, Victory Rides. I'm sorry I don't remember your name, but I know you're coming down from Texas on a Daytona 675 to SEMM. So hopefully this is something that you could use, because I think you're going to be doing about 1,500 miles, 1,300 miles, very similar to our trip, and you're doing it on a Daytona. So hopefully this is useful for you or anyone else out there that's on a super sport or a sports bike that wasn't quite sure how to prepare or what to bring. And this isn't perfect.
Yeah, this is definitely not a definitive list, but these are, like I said, these are things that I've learned, and that I've learned from other people that will definitely help me out. So
yeah, so feel free to change it up, and don't forget to hit that like button down below, hit that subscribe button. Go check out our Instagram pages if you want to follow along on the whole trip. You got _ KSIX,
yep,
KSIX. I'll put that up on the screen somewhere over here. And of course, my Instagram. All the links are down below, and DSG's link will be down below as well. The best place to follow us. But I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to sharing it with you guys. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited for it. Something new for me, something I've never done, and definitely going to be a challenge for me. That it's one of those things where in maybe 5 years, or even if I don't ever go on another trip like this again, which I hope I do, but if I don't, I have something to look back on, like, oh yeah, the one time I went from the border to border. I mean, that's pretty big. So
yeah, that's you think about it, like north to south. That's almost the same distance as going east to west and back. So we're going cross country pretty much. But distance wise, it's pretty close.
Yeah. It's gonna be a ride for sure. So if you guys are still watching, make sure to leave your comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Is there something that we're missing? Is there something that you're like, hey, you guys need to take this, or maybe you could do without this? Is there any advice, tips, any of that? Make sure to leave that down below, and we'll definitely take a look at that and take that into consideration. By the time this video comes out, I believe we'll have 4 days before we leave, so plenty of time for you guys to tell us what you think, essentially. So other than that, guys, hope you guys have a fantastic day, night, evening, whatever time it is that you guys are watching it. Again, thanks for watching, and have a good one.
Be safe, guys.